blanket sales order is like a framework for an agreement that you have with your customer. So let's make an example. So I will click on sales and then blanket sales orders. You can of course also use the search function if you want. And let's create a new one. So first of all, I will enter or select the customer. So in this case, let's take Relay Cloud customer 50,000. And next, I will go to the lines. In the type field, I will select item because this is a blanket sales order for items. Next, I will select one of the existing items. So for example, the Paris guest chair. And then I will enter a quantity, like for example, 200. So this is now something that you can see as an agreement that we have with this customer, that they will purchase 200 units, for example, the next fiscal year. And because this is a rather large quantity, you can also assign specific conditions to the blanket sales order. So I will stick to the unit price, but I will give the customer a discount of 20%, for example. And now if you convert quantities to a sales order, the system will of course also include these special conditions. And that's then of course the next step that we need to do. So there's an agreement for 200 shares, but probably the customer will not purchase them all at once, but will call a number of units when they need. So for example, here you can see now the quantity to ship. And if they now need, for example, 40 units, I can change the quantity to ship to 40. I can enter a specific shipment date if I want. And then by clicking on process, I can run the make order function. And now Business Central will create a purchase order for 40 units. So let me do this. I will click on yes. Then, okay, so the sales order is created. And then we of course have a link now between the blanket sales order and the sales order. So for example, what I can do here is click on line. I can go to the unposted lines because we didn't already post the sales order. Next, I can select orders. And here you can indeed see now the unposted line. So this is a sales order that Business Central has created for the 40 units. So, and that's also the way that you can check on unposted lines. And so if you already converted a number of units to sales orders, but you didn't already ship or invoice the sales order, then this is the way to get an overview of these unposted lines. But once that you start posting sales orders, the system will also automatically update the blanket sales order. So let me show you this. I will go to the sales order. And in this example, let me ship the 40 units. I will not invoice them, so I will just ship them. So I will click on posting, post, ship, and then OK. So now these 40 units are shipped. And what you will now see, if I return to the blanket sales order, is that the blanket sales order now is updated. So here on the line, you can see that there's 40 units shipped. And there's a quantity to ship of 160 units. So the remaining 160 units. We didn't already invoice, so the quantity invoiced is still blank. So again, once that you start posting the sales order, the system will automatically update the linked blanket sales order.